So to everyone, thank you so much for finding time to be here. So my name is Alphonse Juma, Maranda 201 to 204. Yeah. So I'm the CEO of Oracom Group, and we've come up with a software which came out of what you feel is always missing. Myself, when I'm always in the Maranda WhatsApp groups, and even when I look at the kind of network or even like what technology can be used to bring out opportunities are there within an alumni network, then I always feel there is a lot that can be done. When you look at different sets of people, especially people who have gone through Maranda or people who have gone through any institution, and these people, normally when they leave school, some of them get lucky and they get into network, and those networks, they can help people who are leaving school, but also they can help their peers as well in terms of jobs, for example, or even any other opportunities. So we decided to come up with an alumni software, which I'm really determined to implement for Maranda. This software is like a website, but it allows the members of Maranda to tell their stories and also to bring the alumni network together. So I think this session is going to take just 20 minutes in my presentation, and then we can take another maybe 10 minutes just for questions, and then we can be done. So what does it have? I want to begin by showing us a sample of what we've already done for KSG, is Kenya School of Government. So when you log into it, this one here is not the website for the school, but it's just the website for the alumni, like the people who have gone through a certain school network. Now, when we met them, they told us about the kind of people who have gone through this and how they already work together to make sure that they take care of the networks that are within this school. So these networks, actually, they were telling us almost everyone, for the benefit of everyone else, an alumni network. And when you look at especially the years that an institution like Maranda, the kind of people they roll out every year since it started, if these networks have grown stronger than what we have on our WhatsApp group, then you realize that so many things can happen. They can document, for example, the stories that they have, and then it can be very good for them. So this is how the alumni network looks like for them. So definitely, once we begin the process, we are going to have the chair. I don't know whether the Maranda has a chair right now. If it has a chair for the alumni, then we'll just use that chair. If it doesn't have, then we've built a whole community of how we're able to build from the membership, for example, or a voting module. People are able to nominate themselves, and then the nominees are able to participate in a voting for different positions that we are going to advertise. And then from there, we are going to have a chairman that has been voted by the alumni, which is free and transparent. Then now, from this, we also have committees, different committees we are able to set. For example, I'm just imagining the alumni of Maranda. There are some people who have gone out and maybe they are strong in, let's say, matters to do with the environment. So they want to grow that agenda. Some have gone into politics, for example. Some have gone into technology. Some have gone into, let's say, education. So we can have sections of not just the alumni management level, like the chair, the secretary, the treasurer, but we can also have different committees that run and then give reports. So the system has a way in which the nominations is able to people who show interest in these committees, to handle the nominations. It's able to handle the nominees, the voting process, and then even the selection and the leadership profiles on the platform. So it has all these things. For example, the fundraising committee, career and mentorship committee. So it's something that brings in something that has not been there in Maranda before, so that they're able to, we are able to start like growing in something that we've never had before. So once we have that, we love about Maranda, then we love stories. So these stories come from the members, is the beautiful thing with this software. they come with them from the members. So for example, if me as Alphonse, I feel I've done something, maybe it's my business or it's a change or an impact or something we've done, or it could be even like a year group, we've done something. So we'll be able to document it here so that the other members of the alumni, let's say somebody is just joining Form 1, is able to follow through. Then these stories can be populated globally. So we're able to see, for example, there is one member of alumni who is in Canada, and then he's done a story. So you're able to see the spread of the membership within the globe. That I think can give us something very different in that we're able to see and map our members based on where they are. So for example, if I'm traveling to, let's say, France, and then I'm able to know from the network, I'm able to know our members who come from France, then I'm able to just tag into them because they become members of the same. Then we love the recently joined alumni. So once we begin, I guess we have so many members in Maranda group. Once we begin, we'll start by setting up the people who can be available, or we'll speak to management. I don't know how that is going to happen. And then we'll set up. And then now the alumni, they'll start joining the platform. When they join, they'll be known by the years they left, which can also give the year groups a very easy work of identifying their members. And then we have the image gallery, news and views from the community, and then it just goes like that. So I'll go to what we already have for the system itself. So these are the features that the system has. One is we will be able to manage the event programs. So there are always alumni programs that come from the years. For example, this year they are planned, they're doing something in December, or they are visiting somebody, or just something they want to do. We're able to manage them easy here. But it will also help our members from Maranda who are holding their own events that are not related to the alumni. For example, if you're doing something in your community and you'd like support from the community, then you'll just be able to upload it here. The system can help you manage attendance, barcodes, and registrations. Number two, second feature is manage membership. When we have a technology like this, then managing membership for us would be very easy because we can search and filter, which is my next item here, alumni advanced search. Easily, you can just know like how many people are after school, they ventured into technology, they ventured into media, and things like that. And then from there, it can help our members to identify those who they need help from. So things like, for example, today I saw somebody ask for a number of somebody. Maybe that person is a big person in some office, but he finished maybe 20 years before you joined. So that will not be possible anymore. If I need contacts of Alphonse, I'll just go into the platform to do the alumni advanced search, and then I can find them. And then now I'm able to work with them. The other beautiful thing with that is that the contacts of people, due to data privacy, they are not exposed to the public. And then you can also choose to hide your personal profile details if you need them. And then somebody can just request, and then you can choose to give them or not. Then the messenger chat is very beautiful in that if I'm on the platform, it works more like the way you chat with people on WhatsApp. I'm able to chat somebody, I'm able to ask them for something, and then they're able to reply to me. We also have the create and find a job curricula. This is very interesting. For those of us who maybe I'm working in some office like the Ministry of Health, and then there's a job opportunity. So I'll be able to just come there and then I post it. So all the alumni who may need jobs, they can be able to apply. But apart from this, putting the job, I'm also able to help them. Like I'm always very sure that if somebody wants to wants to help you to get a job, they can. So a platform like this would help you, like preparation for the interviews, help you with connections, so that more people leave Maranda, they're able to get jobs. The next thing is selling a ticket. They can sell tickets of their own events and events for the alumni themselves, and then they can also verify these tickets during the event. The next feature is create and manage all news. So we will have a place where people are able to do their own news. For example, I've seen many times in the WhatsApp group, there are always people have their own opinion, but that opinion just ends in the WhatsApp group. not everyone is in the WhatsApp group. So this is going to give people a chance, and I'll be able to show us in the backend how all that is done. A chance to share their own news, like you'll be your own publisher for the sake of the members who are able to follow. Some of this news as well, we can be able to push them to the members. Like if you've done something and you feel Alphonse needs to know about it, we're able to push them through an SMS or push them through an email or just a newsletter. So what I mean here is the people at Maranda who are offering solutions or doing business, they can use that feature to tell more information, to tell people about what they do. And at the end of it, it will be good for their own marketing. Then we have create and manage notice. So we will be having a notice board where we give announcements where needed. They'll manage all transactions. Things like alumni, there are many ways in which we can raise money for it. And I'm looking at an alumni network where, like, it's not a poor network. It's something when I join, then my interest is taken care of. So there are many ways you set where it's able to raise revenue for itself and for the members. The other feature is manage invoices and then multiple currency setup, multiple payment gateways. We have multiple language support, social media login. We have the chatting system. I've talked about it, the job system, events and ticketing system, the election system, which I've talked about, and then lastly, the managed donations, where people are able to donate for a particular cause. The advantage of this, for example, I've seen when somebody dies, for example, and people want to give, sometimes it's very difficult to know whether Alphonse always gives, so that when something happens to him, then we can know, we can always give the way he gives. So I think such a feature will help us in that we'll be able to run. Though I don't know why it stopped in the group, but I guess it stopped because when I give to you, ikifika kwangu, you don't give. So such a thing will be sorted in that we'll just know Alphonse huwa anatoa. Huyu, that is if there's something, like there's somebody, something has happened. Huyu hatoangi. And now we can come up with policies and we can be able to rate how finances are used. So with that, I would like to move to what we call the backend of the system. The backend of the system will allow us to log in. So I'll just go to login. So we have a login. So I'll begin with the first login, which is the admin login. It will look like this for the dashboard. Admin would be that person we've created as a job that they'll be using now this, or even the members to manage the transactions that come in. So we will have the alumni dashboard where we have the total number of alumni who have been able to join. We are going to use different tools to mobilize for registration. An alumni can join but not become a member. So for the member, we can set up membership plans. For example, somebody can pay this amount, become a member, and then from that amount, those monies, they can help us to run alumni. Then we have upcoming events, then the members of that event, and then the transactions. You'll be seeing all the totals that come there. We'll be seeing the payment summaries, the event ticket summaries, and latest transactions, etc. So I'll go to just from down here. The first thing I'll begin with is the settings that we can set. So we're able to set up so many settings from the registration form, currencies you want to work with, and on currencies or even the payment gateways, we've made it such that we're able to take care of somebody, let's say, is in another country. So we have lots of payment gateways, including M-Pesa and bank. That is just for ease of collecting money. The next thing we have is that we'll be able to set up what we call the batch settings. So setting up batch is like when you left school. So adding the years, for example, we can say give it a year or a batch. Like for us, we live in batches of 4 years, yeah, or a difference of 4 years. Then we'll set up the departments, and then we are going to set up the passing year. Then we'll set up the email templates, and then from that we are going to set up the email newsletter that is going to send, and then we are going to set up also the moderators or the roles of the people who want to access the system. So this, for example, is whoever we give a role we will just say if is a staff, treasurer, etc. And then we can also tell the system the only things we want that particular role to access. For example, if we say we want them to manage events, say we are creating a role for an accountant, we can say like you can manage events, you can manage alumni, you can manage notice board. So only the things we allow him to do, him or her, then he's able to see when they log in. The other thing is the managing votes. So votes will be here until we have the final candidate. Candidates can always give their comments when they win or when they lose. We can see the voters list and the results that come out of the voting. We also have committees. I talked about them. We set up the designation of the committees, categories of the committees, and then the nominations that come out of it, the board, etc. And we have the donations. We can set the donation categories, campaigns that we are running. People are able to see the report from the donations. Then we have transactions. We can follow them all there. We can manage all the news. We can manage all the newsletters. We can manage all the membership plans. I think this I can just open. So we can have membership plans for all the, for package. For example, we can say, just like they're here, a lifetime member. If we set up that, then we say it's how long, how many years. Or if we say like gold packages or silver packages, or even monthly. So what happens is when you set up a membership fee, you are able to determine the features that you want that member to see when they log in. So we can say like, if you are this member, you cannot do something, or you can do something. Yeah. So I think that one makes me therefore be done with that part. We can also manage all the alumni plus their years. We can import them, or we can have them register. And then each alumni has their own interface. It looks like this. It has their homepage. When I log in as Alphonse, there are only some things that I can see. So one of them is this homepage. We talked about a social media. So for example, when I wake up in the morning, I can be talking the same way people type on the group. But now this will be very meaningful conversations, which are done as a social media. So it's more like a social media, but now for the alumni. So I can say, I come here, for example, and say, hello guys, the schools are opening in 2 weeks, in 3 weeks. And I urge us to stand with the students who may need support. So I can post something like that. When I click, immediately it posts, immediately it goes to everyone else and is here when it comes. So another person can like it, can comment on it, can say thanks for the money. So at the end of it, a conversation that starts can be able to remain there as a reminder for the members. The other thing is the events. I'm able to do my own events here, my events. I can also see all the events coming up. I can post jobs. I can post my own stories. I can see all the alumni in the network. I can see the memberships. And if my membership expires, I'm able to buy. I can send messages to them, and then the alumni network can also send me messages. So I think that marks the end of my presentation today. Why was I looking for people? Number one is that this network, this platform, it's going to give us an identity as an alumni. And because it's a software, it means there will be no issues of, let's say, pesa imepotea, because the software is able to track. So what I'm looking for the team that is here, I'm looking for a team that we can team up with. I've already spoken to a good number of the people in the who are alumni, but I'm looking for people who we are able to team up with so that we be part, or we set up. Myself, I don't want any role unless I'm given, but I'm looking for a team that is able to implement this for Maranda. And because you're going to take your time as we train, as we set up, the system has a way in which it's going to generate money for itself. So we are going to come up with how this is going to be used. For example, when you join this, the mind has to be something that is self-sustaining, even to the people who are working on it. So, for example, the first thing we will do, I don't know whether there is a leadership right now, but if it's there, I think it's not strong. So we can speak to them, or we can just set up a new leadership, maybe a temporary one for the next 6 months, and then they would oversee the election now once you already have members. So my plan was that we reach out to the alumni, which I did in the group. Some of them came, like you guys have been able to come. This also we are going to save it and then share it in the group. People will listen, and then those who would like to move on with us, we are going to form, I'm thinking of a committee of 10 people who we will be meeting, and then we strategize on how we are going to recruit more members of the alumni. It's a software, definitely. So I know the question is, how much will it cost? Or what is your gain, like, how much is it to set up the software? For Maranda, the way we promote the software is just for the cost of hosting it or maintaining it when it's online, which we are working on a commission. Like, for example, when somebody registers, so that committee will decide if they register, let's say, with 500 or 1,000. So we just set up from the registration. Let's say I've paid 500 to become a member, and we can dedicate maybe out of the 500, 20% or 10% goes to running of the software. So in that case, we do not need to invest in anything on the software. And then I'll be able to help us run it for 6 or 1 year without expenses. And then from there now, we'll be able to hand it over to a committee. And I'm very sure that this company will grow, and we will be speaking to alumni in diaspora and in many places, because we are going to give them a chance to start talking about issues that affects Maranda. Yeah. So with that, I would like to open it up to Q&A, what you may think, and then we'll be able to stop. What do we think about it, by the way? Wacha sasa nijirudishe. What do we think about this software? What do we think?
Okay, for me, I think it's a nice platform, and it's good that you've come up with it. Maybe during this time when people are transitioning to the digital era. And I believe the Maranda High School always needs, but I think there's this committee of the leadership of Maranda alumni. To my knowledge, it's mostly comprised with the 202 class. So if you can share it widely, you can gain momentum. Overall, it's a good idea and a good initiative. And in something overdue now, we really need it, I think.
Thank you, Buzz, for that. I think we can end here. What I want to do is, I know we are going to have a lot of changes and opposition when there are softwares like this. Definitely, some people may not be happy with the software because the software makes things very straight. So I've already spoken to a good number of people, and then I'm going to set up their Maranda. I'll speak to the school as well. I'll write them a letter so that you're able to have this on the Maranda domain, like alumni.maranda high school, something like that. And then after that, I think I'm going to, if I'm able to get a few people just to work on the committee, we'll start working as a committee. For those who will watch and like it, I would also wish that Boaz and Harold, you're part of this committee, because you heard about this and you joined. And then slowly by slowly, we'll start pushing it. I'm sure it's going to work.